Hello everyone, it's Online Slayer again, and we shall be going on with the algebra topic. Today promises to be really tight because I've got loads of issues to discuss with you. But first thing first, the two things I want to talk about. One, I've got a new haircut. Does not look bad, does it? Secondly, last week we discussed something about a shortcut when you want to factorize a quadratic expression. And I said, in order to do that quickly, to think straight about the things you need to, the range of values you could get the two terms we would usually seek. I said you should just add 5 and subtract 5 from the B term. Apparently, YT viewer 71, that's a YouTube viewer, observed that that will only work for some questions and not all questions. So quickly, I've corrected that mistake and I apologize for that mistake, and it's thumbs up to YT viewer 71 for pointing that out. Next time, if you observe anything that is wrong, please call my attention to it, okay? And also, it's good to know that that was just a shortcut to the solution, but it's not always shortcuts are always, well, sometimes dangerous. So yeah, today we've got loads of things to talk about. I'd like you to stay tuned and be with us. And by the way, if you're one of those who have not been following from the beginning, take some time out, okay? View all the past episodes that you've missed, because we're building up. And there's some things we'll be referring to which we might have done already in the past. And it's helpful if you catch up with us right from the scratch. So, shall we? Today, we're talking about algebra. Again, algebra. And we're looking basically at algebraic equations and algebraic inequalities, linear and quadratic. You don't want to miss this, trust me. But before we do that, let's talk about functions, all right? You must have heard about functions so many times, but what are functions? Well, some things like this, f of x, you might have come across, g of x, you might have come across, whatever that has to do with taking in x and giving out a value is a function. And basically, I like to think of a function as a process. Do you remember your definition of a computer? What does the computer do? It takes in input, yeah, you know that quite all right, and it gives out an output. Well, that is just what a process does. You give a process what it needs, and it gives you what you get. In the case of a function also, similarly, you give a function x, and you get from the function y, where there is a process called f of x. So y is usually f of x. F of x is the product of reforming or refining x. For instance, take something like 2x plus 1 as a function. If you have x in here, you're going to get y. So if x is 1, what's y going to be? The function says 2 times x plus 1. So 2 times 1 plus 1. That's 2 times 1 plus 1, and that gives you 3. When x becomes 2, the function says, well, 2 times 2 plus 1, and that gives you, I didn't need to use this anyway, 5. That's all a function does. A function gives you a y value for any x value. So in this case, when x is 1, f of x is 3. When x is 2, f of x is 5. That's just telling you the y value for whatever x is. So yeah, let's look at something else. What about an inverse function? An inverse function, just like a function is a process and in a forward movement, you could have the reverse as well. So